Long ago, before wisdom walked freely among humans, the world moved slowly, like a child learning to crawl. People lived, they worked, they laughed, but they did not understand why things happened. Fires burned without purpose, crops grew by chance, and every mistake was repeated again and again because knowledge belonged only to the gods. In a small village below the hills, the people gathered around a fire that refused to stay lit. They argued, blamed one another, and tried the same failed ideas over and over. Yesterday worked, why not today?
Maybe the fire spirit is angry.
We never know what to do. Watching from the shade of a tall tree was someone who noticed everything. Someone who listened. Someone who smiled when others struggled. His name was Anansi.
The gods keep wisdom locked away, and humans stumble like blind ants. What an interesting problem.
Anansi was not fully a god and not fully a creature. He was curiosity given legs, questions given teeth. And where others accepted the world as it was, Anansi asked one dangerous question.
Why should wisdom belong to only the gods?
High above the clouds, beyond human reach, stood the Sky Kingdom, home of Nyame, the great god of wisdom. There, knowledge was stored, sealed, and protected from mortals.
Nyame watched the world below with calm ancient eyes. He believed wisdom was power, and power, when given too freely, could destroy.
Humans are not ready. They must remain protected, even from themselves.
Inside a single golden pot lived all wisdom, knowledge of farming, building, leadership, kindness, and consequence, locked away from the world that needed it most. What the gods did not know was that Anansi listened better than anyone.
So that's where they hide it.
In that moment, a plan formed, not from bravery, but from curiosity. Anansi did not want wisdom for power. He wanted to see what would happen if the world understood itself.
If wisdom won't come down, then I'll climb up.
And so began a journey that would anger the gods, change humanity forever, and prove that even wisdom could be stolen.
Anansi climbed higher than any spider had ever dared, past the birds, past the storms, past fear itself, until his feet touched the clouds of the sky court. The gods turned in shock. No mortal creature had ever entered this place uninvited.
Who let him in? A spider dares stand before Nyame?
Anansi bowed just enough to seem respectful, but not enough to hide his grin. He knew fear. He simply refused to wear it.
Great Nyame, keeper of wisdom, I have come to ask for a gift. You dare ask the gods for wisdom? A spider thinks himself worthy of wisdom!
Let him try and fail. Nyame raised his hand, and silence fell like night.
Very well, Anansi. If you desire wisdom, you must prove you are worthy.
Nyame's voice echoed across the heavens.
Capture Onini, the Groid smile, no rogue Quathon.
Anansi nodded calmly, as if asked to fetch water.
I accept.
The gods laughed again, but Anansi was already thinking. In the jungle below, Anansi found Onini resting beside a fallen tree.
What do you want, Anansi? Great, Onini. My wife and I are arguing. She says you are longer than this tree. I say the tree is longer. Nonsense! I am far longer!
To prove his point, Onini stretched himself straight. That was when Anansi moved fast, tying him gently, carefully, cleverly.
Wait, what are you?
Moments later, the sky darkened as Anansi returned, dragging the mighty python behind him. The gods fell silent. But wisdom would not be surrendered so easily.
Impressive, but not enough.
More tasks awaited Anansi, deadlier creatures, greater danger, and with every success, the gods grew more uneasy. For Anansi was not using strength, he was using wisdom, the very thing they tried to hide.
The sky court was no longer laughing. The gods whispered among themselves, their glowing eyes following
Anansi wherever he moved. One impossible task had fallen, and with it, their certainty. He smiles too easily.
This spider is dangerous.
Nyame raised his staff again. His voice was calm but sharp.
Very well, Anansi. Bring me the Moboro hornets alive!
A ripple of shock passed through the court. The Moboro hornets were fury with wings, invisible, unstoppable.
Deep in the forest, the air hummed with danger. The hornets could not be seen, but their anger could be felt.
So you don't like being disturbed?
Anansi filled a gourd with water and splashed it into the air.
Rain! Run, Tauta!
The hornets panicked, diving straight into the empty gourd, believing it was safety. When the buzzing stopped, Anansi sealed the gourd with a grin.
Thank you for your cooperation.
The gods watched in disbelief as Anansi returned, unharmed.
It did again.
Nyame paused for a long time. Then,
One final task. Capture Osebo the leopard, a prey faster than thought.
And fear.
Anansi dug a deep pit along the leopard's path and waited.
Patience is just another kind of speed.
With a roar, Osebo fell, furious, trapped.
Spider, release me!
Anansi did not fight. He waited. Hunger did the rest.
I will help you if you promise peace. I agree.
The sky court fell silent as Anansi delivered the final prize. 3 impossible tasks, 3 victories, no force, only thought. Too late, the gods understood. Anansi already possessed what they feared most. Not strength, not magic, but wisdom. And as Anansi stepped closer to the pot of wisdom, destiny held its breath. Because stealing wisdom would change the world forever. Nyame looked upon Anansi for a long, quiet moment. The spider stood small before the gods, yet somehow larger than all of them combined.
You have done what none could do. The wisdom is yours.
As Anansi touched the pot, knowledge rushed through him. Songs, laws, secrets, kindness, and consequence all at once.
So this is understanding.
Nyame raised a warning hand.
Take it, but guard it well. Wisdom in one place can become tyranny.
Anansi nodded, but inside, a different thought stirred.
Afraid others might steal the wisdom from him, Anansi decided to hide it. He tied the pot to his chest and climbed the
Tallest tree in the world. But wisdom has weight, and pride makes it heavier. The pot slipped. For one terrible moment, the world stood still.
No, wait!
The pot shattered upon the earth. Wisdom burst outward into rivers, forests, villages, mountains, and hearts. Some people caught much, some caught little, but none were left with nothing. Fires burned brighter, crops grew stronger, leaders learned to listen, children learned to question. Wisdom no longer belonged to the gods, or to Anansi alone. From the branches above, Anansi watched the world change. Perhaps wisdom was never meant to be owned. Nyame smiled, not with anger but with understanding.
Even the cleverest trick teaches a lesson.
And that is why wisdom is scattered unevenly across the world. Some have much. Some have little. But all must share, or wisdom becomes another kind of foolishness.
This is the story of Anansi, the spider who stole wisdom and gave it to the world.